Right, first of all today I feel I need to make an apology. I was going, was to show you how I masked up the canopy. The video didn't come out very well, so I decided it was probably best to dump it and just to explain to yourselves. So I do apologise for that. So about all I did really was put frog tape across the canopy to seal it all down and make it in to a good fitting position. So that's basically all I've done. Now what we're going to do today, I apologise for that. So what we're going to do today, we're going to start getting some paintwork down. Now I'm just going to have a quick look at my references to see what we're going to do. Now we're going to do the one with the black tail, so we need to find it. There are 3 available on this, and I haven't seen the black tail version done, so that's the one I'm going to try and do. But being a little bit odd, it only shows you it on the box. So bear with me and we'll get the box slid out. So I'm going to have to actually, my reference will be the box. Okay, so here we go. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. Is that the one? Yeah, this is the one we're going to go for. Now, as you can see, all the top of it will be camouflage. The tail will be black. All the underside of the wings will be black. We've got demarcation lines for the top and everything else. So our first point of job will be to primer up using grey primer to get ready for our RAF dark green and ocean grey. So that's what I'm going to be looking at first. So we'll just move our model out of the way for a few moments. We're going to have to put down some of our blitz, get it into position so I can see what I'm doing. Compressor on. So our first job is to come straight in with our grey primer. Now we're going to use Alclad grey primer and microfiller ALC 302. Now as you can hear, I've probably hear me, I've got a cold. Not a brilliant idea for me to spray with this cold, but hey ho, we'll give it a go and see how I get on. So if I suddenly keel over and there's a load of video turn up with me flying all over the place half dead, then perhaps you'll understand. So we're just going to put a little primer in the colour cup and get it ready. Make sure we've got some flow, which we have. Again, I've got my compressor, which is usually set at 8 to 10 psi. Another bit of blitz for clear up. Now, as I said, we're going to have to go by the box for our reference purposes on this one. So I'm keeping the box lid in front of me over there so I can see what I'm doing. Obviously the black's going to cover up the grey, so there's not a lot of great damage we can do. But I have made a little bit of a a boo-boo, and in fact what I'm going to see, it shows you, getting a bit carried away with myself. Let's just clean this up. What we should have done first, we don't need to clean it up too much because it's not going to matter that much. What we're going to do, we're going to get, excuse me again, our British grey green. I now actually work for the company that produces the pigments for Alclad 2, and it's my responsibility to get these paints correct so I can give 100% assurance that the colours that you'll get in the bottles will stay exactly right as they should do. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put some grey green on our canopy, all over our canopy. What this will do, you can see this, let's bring you in a little bit so you can see what we're doing. I'm going to bring it all in. Excuse me. And we're going to use our grey green over the top of the canopy. What this will do, this will show through on the inside. So when you look through the canopy, you'll see our grey green showing up nicely. And that's looking very, very nice. Round our front window, and of course our nose panel. Now I've done something a little different what I normally do on this. I've used masking fluid. I don't normally use it, it's the first time for me, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's fine, so we'll just put that back in. And then we'll give the airbrush a quick clean out. Just to help us out a little bit. As we're only using primer, I shan't worry too much. I'll just blow that through a little bit. That's fine. Blow it out. I hate the dirty colour cup. One more go. Da-dee-dee-dee-dee. Always happy in my work, he says. Okay. Right. Also, if you want any other colours added to the Alclad range, don't be afraid to get in touch either by email at markuk3@btinternet.com or technical@alclad2.co.uk, and we can see what we can sort out. So it's all the top areas are going to be needed to be painted in grey. So all we're going to do is just making sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. Pull it out a little bit. All I'm going to do is prime up the main surfaces. Just going gently over. I'm not allowing too much paint down, as the surface has already been cleaned, so I know I'm happy with what it's going to look like. And we're just going to make sure we lay the primer down nice and gently. I know where, looking at our references, I know exactly where everything's got to go to, so we should be okay. Sounds like something big just crossed over on its way to Mildenhall. So just spraying it down, making sure that the colours are all correct and we get a uniform start for our camouflage pattern. And you just go across the top surface. We did that, didn't we? We did that on the wing. We'll do that, although it will be done in black. So I'm not pulling back on the trigger very hard. It's just so there's just enough paint coming out to go down. Just a bit of dust on there. Just gone. And again, looking at our references all the time. Getting as close as we dare go to the model. Just making sure it's all in and all one colour again to the nose. Great stuff. And that conveniently is all the primer used. So next job is to come in. Let me just put the lid on that primer out of the way. I'm carrying on this at the moment. If I stop, I'll probably stop. So let's get some more in. Now what we're going to do, because obviously this was a wooden aircraft, there's very little areas to pre-shade. So get the black to come out. All we're going to do is just highlight the areas just to give it a little bit of character, if you like. And I'm using black primer because I already had primer in the brush, so that's the only reason. Now I'm not being too fussy with this. I'm not trying to paint pretty patterns. But all we're doing is just giving areas that look where dust has settled, grime and that sort of thing. And where the aerial goes, again up there. So we come to the tail planes. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Bring her in a bit closer. There we go. So all I'm doing again is just going following the lines roughly. This is something that I was taught when I first started my modelling. A few people don't agree with it. I love it. I think that's part of my way of doing things, and that's what I like the most. So I'll come round. Excuse me for being so shaky. So I draw a line across again, right the way down the rudder, or the flat, or whatever it's called. And again, we'll just draw some lines. As I said, I'm not being very picky on this because there's no need to be. I'm just giving it a little bit of shadow effect when our main paint work goes on. I hope you can see this. I'm just going to draw straight line through. Carrying on, just like that. Right, so we'll give that a couple of minutes to dry. Give that a couple of minutes to dry, and then we'll come back with the other colours and we'll go from there. Okay, right, so we're all ready, and we're going to go now for our main camo colours, which are Alclad Mil Spec, Alclad 2 Mil Spec, ALCE 013 REF Dark Green, and REF Ocean Grey ALCE 004. So we've changed our brushes because I just want a little tighter edge on these, so I'm going to use my AH, Iwata AH. We're going to keep checking our references as we go, and I'm going to start off in the tail plane area. A bit disappointed with Tamiya that they haven't given us a proper call out, but hey ho. So all we're going to do on the top section is draw roughly where our camo goes, and then fill that section up. Not too heavy. As we said, we want some of this to show through nicely. So please excuse me, I still have this rotten cold. And all we're doing is just building up the paint. So that we're getting a nice area right across. Excuse me. So we're happy with that. We're just going to come along that front section. Just put some down. Right, and on the secondary side, from the middle, I don't know if you can see this. I'll bring you in a little bit. Hopefully you can see that there. Well, just checking again. And that goes all the way up to the edge of the tail plane, which is there. Again, we're filling that in gently, just to give it. We don't want to put too heavy a coat on, but we want a proper coat, if you know what I mean. It sounds a bit of an odd thing to say, but we want a good coat on. So we're just building that up. Getting right up to the edge. That's it. So it's got that, just that little bit of a worn look to it already. Doesn't look very bright. I'll get you right in there. Perhaps if we bring that light across a little bit, that might help. That's better. So now we'll come to the main parts of the wing. So we're just gonna start roughly marking it off. Something I did find out this week, that the camo colours are all, or not the camo colours, but the camo patterns are all the same for certain types of aircraft. So again, I'm happy with that. We just blow it in. So we're not going mad. We're keeping the airbrush fairly close. Where it's darker, you can paint a little heavier. It will show through eventually. Okay. Just picking our camo pattern out, changing directions. And filling it all in. Until we get the percentage of black through, showing through, that we actually want. And to the front of the wing. The edge is painted nicely. So that's that part of the camo done. Now the next part is slightly different, and we come from the midpoint on the engine just over it, pulling the paint back for the nacelle, and then round. So this side of the nacelle is actually grey. Like so. And that point. Obviously we're not too worried about keeping it in the lines. We'll tighten the lines up when we do the green. doing at the moment, as I say, is getting the grey down and getting the basic camo pattern on the go. That's that part. Looking again, so we have a little bit more paint, I think. Now this piece flows quite nicely to there, up there. There you go, made a mess. It's my fault, I overfilled the airbrush. But all we have to do, clean that up a little bit. We'll just wipe it off. There you go. No harm done. Right, start again. It does happen. So we're going to come from just from the outside of the wing, and it's going to come just to there. So all we need to do is to run a line through there, just like so. Now the other line comes from the tip there, so do it just over, and it comes round like so, through into quite a thin ribbon, like that. And of course it will mean that a lot of the other areas will be the same. So this line here, the line we've drawn there, needs really to project to the centre of the nose, like that. That's it. So all the area on that canopy can now be painted in. And we just got to see where that other side will come to that side in a moment. So all we're doing, just laying the paint down on all the parts. A bit of a raise there, and we're just gonna literally backfill the area now. Like so. Come up to the front of the wing, make sure we got that part. And the nose area. Now we need to turn the box over so that we can see a little bit more. We've got this side is sorted, I'm happy with that. Now this side of the nose, from that line right to the front, so the nose part can now be painted in. No problem. again, very happy with the way that is. Pardon me. Now the next part we need to do is to draw a line from there all the way so that it comes round and all the way on the engine nacelle, just like so, and from a little bit across from the rear of the engine nacelle, comes round bear with me, comes round. Whew. Let's have a look. Right there to about there, so it comes up nearly halfway, then around like so. A bit sharper, but we can sharpen that up with our green, and then our last piece to worry about is that bit. Right, so we can now start to backfill in those areas. It shouldn't be too hard work. Tiny bit more paint. Make sure I don't blast it everywhere this time. Yep. So you just fill in the areas. Right along the wing edges so you don't lose none of the wing edge. And just laying the paint down gently. I know a few modellers online who I've seen, watched on YouTube, what have you, forums, Facebook pages, whatever. They seem to really lay the paint on heavy. I don't believe in that school. I don't believe in blasting the paint off at 30 psi or 25 psi with acrylics. It takes the fun out of it, if you ask me. As I said, that's just me. So, quite happy with that. A bit more there. Now we're going to do is we're going to check our references again, because this line here actually goes from there across and then across our tail there. But there's a very small amount of paint that actually goes on there. So again, just fill that in. Of course there's no panel lines here because it was wood, hence its name, the Wooden Wonder. So we'll just fill that paint, backfill it all in, up we've drawn the lines, just to get it right. There we go. So I'm happy with that side. With this side, we'll come straight over from that area down to about there. As I said, most of this fuselage is black, so we ain't got to go too far. Join them up, fill it in. Okay, so that's our main colours done for now. Or sorry, our ocean grey done. We take you out a bit, you can see the ocean grey is done. I'll clean the airbrush up, then we'll come back and we'll do the green. Okay, so the ocean grey is away and it's now time for our dark green to go down. Now, I was just reading on Facebook about a gentleman we're talking, Ian Vaughan, was saying that Tamiya actually gives you a full-size cutout, so you just cut out the parts and lay them on. And we were just talking and saying it's alright doing that. I just prefer just to pick out my areas myself, to be honest with you. Just seems a lot easier. But anyway, here we go. Right, so we're on to the RAF dark green. Now what we're trying to do is match up with the camo pattern on the picture. It's not always easy, but we'll do the best we can. So all we're going to do every time you do your own freehand camo is to paint away from the area. Check your flow on the model so you can see what's going to come out like. Looks good. And then just make sure you're in camera so that you can see. Let's bring you down just that little bit more and move that out. That's it. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to picture place to start, and I'm going to just draw or just paint a nice steady camo line right the way around the edge of our ocean grey. First part, turning the model away as much as possible. Now I don't like doing this, we're going over the model, but you'll always see whenever I hold my TR1, I tend to hold my finger on the colour cup just there so it doesn't go anywhere, and that also keeps it upright. So check our flow, check our references again, and on this side we're just making sure I am on the right page with myself here. That's that one. Okay, so it's from there. So what we're going to do again, starting just off the model, get it right, exactly how we want it. Bringing it up and round as much as we can. brown away from our ocean grey into that area. Right, we then come to the other side of the engine nacelle. Looking at this one, and we're slightly just over halfway mark, which is correct. Well, we got it. Check our flow. And all we're going to do is go down our engine nacelle. We're not drawing a straight line. Bit of a demarcation line, that's all. And then we need to make our camo pattern on the wing. So, getting it started. Away again from our main area. And pulling the line to exactly where we want it. Just like that. And then what we can do is just backfill it. So I tend to start off with the edge of the wing. We've got a slightly darker colour this time. So we just fill it in. I've changed airbrushes simply because it's been so long since I've used a non-trigger airbrush that it was making my arm cramp. Sounds weird, but so I've gone back to my faithful TR1 just for this section, and we're literally just going to fill it in, keep them close, people moan about the spray of enamels or the smell of enamels. I can't even smell, I know I got a cold, but I can't smell this at all. And believe me, if it smelt, my wife would be up here. So all we're doing is just filling in all the area from the demarcation line that we put down. It's called backfilling, if you want to know a technical term for it. All the way to the end of the engine nacelle. So just filling that in, different areas, nothing too heavy. Now, it looks slightly different colours in places. The reason for that is the paint dries at a slightly different speed. We are using enamels. They will dry up slightly different. Right, so again we're going to start from the top of our canopy area and bring our camo line around like so, and we have another camo line that goes over the top, just like that, and we have one at the bottom there, but that's just the wrong angle. So this whole wing area can now be sprayed in, just here. And we'll follow that line round just like that. This area can then be sprayed in. Not too heavy because there will be a black demarcation line masked in, which is a dead straight line. So you can mask that up and put that in. So we come up to our other wing, and we just follow that line round, just like so. Getting our camo in, just over halfway on this side, so that that side can now be filled. Like so. And there's a slight bit of green on top of there as well. Just like that. And then we can backfill all this bit as well. No overspray, which is a bonus. And just literally, I ain't got to say blast it on. You don't blast it on. Black under there anyway. Get it close in when you do this, and you don't get the grittiness. So I'm happy with that bit. Go to the front, blow that in, make sure that's fine. Then while we've got the model in this position, get it flowing, all we're going to do is just draw the line that we want for that area. That can be filled in. I'm going to tighten that line up a little bit. Better. Just fill that in again. And then we have one last line to do, which is fairly awkward. Move it across. I'll bring that down slightly. And we'll go from the front. And then we can fill that in again. It's a lot easier this time. It's a bit light there. And up there. So give that a little bit of a fill. Very pleased with that so far. And then we'll come into again this wing tip. Now here's the thing with mil-spec. No edit and no trickery involved in this. You saw me paint it, now pick it up. There you go. And there's no mark there at all. Right. Blow that in. Lovely. Along your wing edge, make sure you never forget your wing edges. Carry on like that. So that's nearly our front bit done. We've got a little bit of a green edge just to flow across the top of that window, down onto there and up. We then have, let's see if we can see this, we want a line to come across and down there. Across and down there, tightening that up. And that will be black, most of that, very shortly. So we're just going to fill that in. Just tighten that up a little bit in there. So it works, that's nice. Right, so we're on to the last few bits, which is the tailplane. Which the tailplane is fairly easy. And again, just backfill quite simply. Pull that around again. And this other side can't go the way I want to on this by the looks of it. So I'm going to do it from this way. There we go. And then we can again backfill this, making sure we get the edges what we want. Checking it all over. Let it dry now, and then we'll come back, we'll mask up, and we'll do all our black work. Should be fun. Okay. Right, so here we go. I've spent over an hour masking up our mozzie, and I think I'm ready now to do the damage with the black. So just give our airbrush a quick blow through. Ready? Get it out of there. What I'm going to use for this, although it says microfiber acrylic, it's not. It is a bulk matte black that Rob supplied me. So I'm going to use this one, and we're going to start on the tail, move around. So See how we go, get our flow right, go through, there we go. Sign the blitz. So let's start at the tail and we'll work backwards. So all we're doing literally at the moment, I'll bring you in a little bit, push you forward so that you can see. All we're doing is just gently covering over the plastic with a light coat of our black to begin with. And we're just building it up. Black is a fantastic colour, but it, believe it or not, it can take some covering. If I hold it up, it'll probably be easier for you to see what I'm doing. So go one way and then go the other, just to get a good cover. And then all the way to our tail, along our edges, all the way up the fuselage. I did that part of the tail for a reason, to be truthful. But I'm just gonna paint that bit of the fuselage. Oh, I made a mess up there, I didn't notice before. There you go, get our razor blade, fold it back, and again, just so that we can get our paint down without any obstruction. And here we go again. So we're just light coat to begin with. So again, compressor set 8 to 10 psi, and we get a nice deep black down all the way up our fuselage sides. Check and have a look, see what we got. Looking good, happy with that. And then of course the front as well, getting the paint down, and on the other side of the nose, looking good, happy with that. And then of course the sides of our engine nacelles all need to be done. Into our radiator cavities, and we'll dry brush that later. Both sides. Okay, now the reason that I did the black first on the tail, so I could just flip it straight over and carry on. Now you see I put a little bit of masking in there, but if you're a little bit careful of what you're doing, you shouldn't have any issues. Like that. For areas that don't need it. Up and down the seam. Obviously missing the hole. And there is a seam on the bottom there. And all we're going to do, make sure the paint is going in. I'm not being oversensitive on this, because it's black and we're going to mess about with it later anyway. So we'll come out to our wings. Knowing that everything we needed to mask is masked and safe. And we just plaster it on. So it's nice and black. Both sides. And then we'll come up again, a little bit more care when it comes round to our gap, and we'll hand brush where we need to there. Just making sure that all areas that can be seen are covered. And then we'll fill all the gap in. It's nice. Across the nose. Just be a little bit careful around our front nose section, and of course along the sides of our Bombay. Need a little bit more black. Actually made a bit of dust which is being drawn up the chimney, thank goodness. It is cold, that ain't brilliant. But without Beecham's I wouldn't be here now. So we're literally just getting the black down everywhere that we need to. Control on the airbrush so that we don't get too much overspray where we don't want it. Moving the model around to make it in the best position for us to do what we've got to do. And I'm getting to the point where I'm very happy with that. Right. So, I'm fairly happy with the way that looks. I don't want to just black, because it won't look right. Again, just in the radius just to make sure. Right, that looks good and I'm happy. Now, all I'm going to do now, I'll leave the camera rolling. I've nearly forgotten a part. That's our Bombay. A bit. And we have a door somewhere. Here we go. That's that. So, I'll just quickly clean out the airbrush. It's always a risk if I untape things on live video, but that's the plan. So I'll clean this airbrush out. Blow that through. Blow back. Blow that out. Super. And we'll make sure my hands are dry, and we'll unmask her and see what we've got. Always a tricky bit. There's always a tricky bit to see what we're going to end up with and whether we're going to need to touch up anywhere. Make a pile. Diddly doo dee doo. Well, that bit came off okay. Now, I didn't detack any of this. I'm just hoping to myself, just throwing everything on the floor. Turn the heater off for a moment or two. That's lovely. So far, we'll do our other wing. So far so good. Please, 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 please. I'm praying to our modelling gods. We'll take our area of our nose off because I'm going to hurt the perspex. We have a line, the demarcation line, both sides coming up nicely. extra bits we put on the top. Now we pulled a bit of a mask off our canopy, which isn't too bad. We can deal with that. Nervous times. So just put that in the bin. Get our razor blade. Mouth's gone dry. And there's our mask line off that side. And our mask line off that side. So that looks great so far. We've got a couple of small places just to touch. It's nothing major yet. Thank goodness. And our wing root. Brilliant. Pardon me, other side. I can't get at it. I'm just hoping we can. There's one bit in there. There we go. So that's our model demasked. I'm quite happy with it. There's one place there, one or two places, nothing major we can't deal with. We'll just remask up the canopy slightly, but apart from that I'm very happy. So I'll take you out and you can see, there we have it so far. Take our Bombay away. So our Bombay is all done and our model is now ready for aqua gloss, which is the next stage. But what I shall do, I shall clear up here first, remask that canopy again.